What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Chuck Finley here with Let's Play Sonic the Hedgehog 4 Part 2. We are here beginning Casino Street Zone. This is the this zone is supposed to represent the Carnival Night Zone from Sonic the Hedgehog 2, and likewise we will see a lot of gimmicks and enemies related to that. There won't be too many enemies here in the original version of Carnival Night Zone. There wasn't too many enemies. The only enemy that was in there, however, was this one. He is called Crawl. Again, debuted in Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Not seen too often. There is I believe there's a version in Carnival Night Zone of this one. So you can see they are just kind of showing you how to get up a wall. In any other Sonic game, any other previous 2D Sonic game, there would be no way you could have done that. You would have to have used the spin dash move to be able to get up there, but because they nerfed it pretty bad, you won't be able to do that. Anyway, so there will be one more enemy. You can see the bubbles there, but new enemy-wise, we won't see anything new except other than the Crawl and a Batbot that debuted in Carnival Night Zone. Or I'm sorry, yeah, Carnival Night Zone. The Crawl's actually debuted in Casino Night Zone. I'm sorry, my bad. Casino Night Zone, the Crawls did, and the Batbots that we'll see later will debuted in Carnival Night Zone. So here, this is pretty hard to get up through. I've never been able to get up there, just for whatever reason. I usually get caught on the ceiling. The only way I know how to do is just wait so that you can use the homing attack where I did. That's about the only way you can way that you can easily get through there. I'm sure if you messed around long enough, you would be able to get up there, but time-wise, I just suggest using the homing attack. So there was a couple Batbots there. You really didn't get to see them, but you will get to see them later on. They're not that hard of an enemy. You don't want to let them ambush you, because if you activate them, they usually hang from the ceilings, and they will follow you around once you activate them. And if you stay in their vicinity long enough, they will actually come after you, and they will force you to lose rings. That's about the only dangerous thing about them. So you can see what they do there. They obviously they're going to be more graphically enhanced than the Sonic 3 version of them, but they looks-wise they pretty much look the same. So does the Crawls, the Motobugs, Buzzers, Choppers. Pretty much every enemy looks like they're the same, except with some graphical changes, so that they look a little bit more graphically enhanced, I guess you could say, and their movements will look a little bit different as well. Now, something that is important about these rings: if you do happen to miss the ring and you go sailing by the signpost, you will not be able to do the special. You will not be able to go into the special stage. You have to go through the. Be careful here. I'm sure there's going to be a few. Oh no. So I guess this is just an area that you can grab a few rings in. If you do not unlock, or if you do not go through the special staging ring, but you miss the signpost and it counts down and everything, you will not be able to actually go through and go to the special stage. So you want to be very careful while doing that. You want to always slow down whenever you get to the whenever you're going to get to the signpost. This is a pretty bad one. This is pretty much where things start to get a little bit harder. You do have to be on the lookout for those blocks, the exclamation exit blocks. Want to be very careful of springs. Obviously, that spring will throw you down there into those blocks. Again, you just want to make sure that you have your finger on the pause button, or the equivalent of the pause button. I'm not sure if that's for for the Wii version. I don't know if if the Wii version has a pause button or not. It may, and I'm not sure if the Xbox 360 has a pause feature either. Now, this game has a lot of interesting trivia surrounding it. It started out as a competition that Sega had put on, and fans were supposed to participate in this competition. and Sega would go through and have a list of characters that and fans would, I believe, vote. Well, I'm deciding whether or not to go ahead and say it now or wait for the wrap-up video. It's not that special or really important. It's just something to kind of just fill dead air with, since I don't have all that much to talk about here. I got something else to talk about. Back in the first act that I was just in, the gimmick there would have been the casino, or the slot machines that you saw that debuted in Casino Night Zone in Sonic 1, or I'm sorry, Sonic 2. However, and I believe they work just the same as the casinos, the slot machines in that game did as well. You can actually just sit Sonic right on those diamonds, and you'll be able to get rid of them quickly. I don't know why I kept moving around for. That's not the right way to do it. You want to make sure that you just sit on the diamonds and be able to move on. They work just the exact same as the slot machines in previous Sonic games, so you don't have to really worry about those. If you noticed, you've seen the press the triangle button to go to the next act. If you don't do that, you'll be sent back to the level select screen. So you want to be careful of, you always want to look out for it and make sure that you can see it and hit it. If you notice those dice were moving, they will do nothing for you. The gimmick in this level are these cards. You can see these big cards on the background that move as you go along them, and you can gain lives and rings as you go along. This is actually a pretty good level to try to grind for some lives. You know, rings. You don't keep your rings like you do in 3D Sonic games, so there's no point in really collecting rings outside of just collecting lives. Now you can see you have to get 3 of a kind to be able to actually gain a bonus from the cards. And if you notice, they do stay with you for a little while, whatever cards you gain. So if you can go through several piles of cards really quickly, you can that's the best way to try to go after a lot of rings and lives and everything like that. This is another gimmick. Oh crap! I was to say this is another gimmick, and this is where one of those sections where you have to use the homing attack. If you don't use the homing attack, you won't be able to go through there. I don't believe you have to use it through there. You know, you can, if you want to, just stop and use the slide, the spin dash, or just drop to the bottom. So you can see here where I was talking about being able to use the cards to kind of link them up, different sets of cards, so that you can gain more prizes from them. And you want to make sure that you always line it up if you can. But, you know, as you go along, there will be lots of cards that you can go after. The decks of cards on the background that you notice that are very similar to the they're very similar to the dice. They don't do anything for you, so you don't have to worry about them. Trying to get all the cards here are actually pretty difficult. You will have to do 2 passes going through here. This is one of those bat bot areas where if you let them, they will catch up to you. So you just want to make sure that you kill them ahead of time. You can just jump on them. Nothing special. Those decks of cards, as I said, they don't do anything for you. They're just like the dice. I don't know why they stuck them in the background. Really, they don't do anything for you, and they don't seem to take anything away from the game. So, crap. I guess it's okay. You want to be careful about being crushed, though. That is one of the few things that will kill you automatically. But that's from that was from the original, or that's been in pretty much every Sonic game. If you get crushed, you will die. So you can see there is one more face on these cards. The Robotnik card. It will not take anything away from you outside of just being something that you cannot match. If you get 3 Robotniks, it will gain nothing, but that's just like a wasted card almost, because you will gain nothing from it. So there's there's nothing wrong with collecting the Robotniks like the slot machines. If you got 3 Robotniks, you would lose a lot of rings, if not all of your rings. You will not die though if you do take damage from the Robotnik slot machines. You'll slot machine icons. You'll just lose all your rings. But oh crap. Okay. But you know, it's just pretty much just taking potential cards away from you. That's the only bad thing really about the Robotnik cards. So you can see the springs here do give you 10 points. It's an okay way to try to go after points. I believe they only give you 100 points each, so they're not all that special really. And in the long run, you'll actually gain more points from a good time bonus than you will from going after every single score spring in here. You want to be very careful here. Just wait for them to reset, because this is the end of the level. You want to be careful, because if you do get sit right on the edge of these cards, you will. Oh, yeah, I was gonna say this is right. No, okay, so this isn't quite right at the end. But if you do die past this point, there is no way that you can go after the special stage going through here, so you want to be very careful. And you can see there's some crawls and some bumpers through that section. Nothing too difficult. Okay, so this is the section. So you want to be careful while going on these cards. If you do get right on the edge, you will die. You will be forced to dive right off of them. You want to boost through here, not boost, but just run. If you use the homing attack, you'll go too slow. If you try to do a spin dash, you'll go too slow. Just run. That's the only fast thing that you can do. You may want to use the homing attack right before you get to the end, just so you don't get caught on the side like I did. But thankfully, I didn't get messed up, so there's really no reason or penalty from doing that. You just want to make sure that you get along there fast. You can homing attack going onto it, but while you're on it, do not use the homing attack. This is another time-orientated one. You can see there is a barrier there that we have to collect rings from, or that we have to collect rings to open. It's good to see the amount, but it's kind of hard to keep track of them, especially as you're going along. All right, let me see. Okay, so that means I opened the door, so it's just best to. Well, I was gonna say, I failed it. I've wasted too much time. There's no point in me really continuing. I need to just go ahead and reset it before I mess up and run out of time. So yeah, if you notice those, the little kind of candy cane colored spheres were invisible until I passed. That's kind of like it's a trap. If you get past there, you will have to go back around, and you'll just end up wasting time. So you want to be very careful while dealing with it. Even after you've collected enough rings to open the barrier that you're already passing, if you're not right near the barrier, go ahead and collect some more rings just to help yourself out for later on in the level or in the special stage. You can see the arrows do help you out if you can go after them. Trying to go after every time orb or time sphere that you see will definitely help you out. But in the long run, oh crap! In the long run, it'll just help you out if you try to go through the maze and go after the rings. So okay, so I still need 28. I'm running dangerously low on time. 10, 3, 2, 1. Okay. I'm going to retry, but you can kind of see what you have to do to get through here, and that's why I say try to collect as many rings as you can, because it will help you out in the long run. It will help you out. See, if I had collected a few more rings, I might have just been able to get through there just before I ran out of time. But sadly, there was really no way, nothing that I could do about it. Okay, so that's opened that up, but just remember you want to try to go after all the rings you can, but don't waste time with rings. That's the biggest thing, if you're going through a section like that first section, you know, go for all the rings you can, but don't waste time doing it. That's the big thing. And with one of these timed events where you have to go through here pretty quickly, you don't want to waste too much time taking it easy. The Act 2 is actually a pretty easy level, so it's not too difficult to, as long as you don't die in that last section, on the last 2 card sections. As long as you don't die through there, and you shouldn't have that much trouble. 30, crap. Okay, so I'm actually doing worse ring-wise than last time. You want to be careful jumping on those barriers, because they will shoot you out a pretty decent way. And you will... come on. 4, 3... oh, crap, wow. I thought that was something I could grab onto. Well, you've seen how to do it. I may show it off. I may not. I will get the emerald before. Well, if I can get it in Act 3, you know, I'll definitely try to go after it. But well, yeah, because it's not. Oh, yeah, my bad. The gimmick here, really quickly, is these cannons that debuted in Carnival Night Zone in Sonic 3. They were very similar to these types of cannons, except the cannons didn't have, except they moved on their own independently, and you just had to kind of time where you wanted to jump. With the cannons, the difference between these cannons and those cannons are that you can actually control them, and they sit still. And there's also arrows pointing you in the direction that you're supposed to go, which is always useful. But it's better because later on in this same the same zone or act, you want to be careful, and you'll have to use some of those cannons that don't have any arrows to point you in the right direction. So you want to be careful and go ahead and learn early while you still have these easy cannons to go after, because as I said, you know, once you go on, it'll get a lot harder. So you can see some more of these barrier or platform sections that we've seen since Sonic 1. I believe it was it first debuted in Marble Garden Zone, with some of those platforms that would kill you if you got crushed by them, but they had patterns just like that where you had to jump up through them. Usually they had crab meats on them. Thankfully these don't have any sort of enemies on them to get in your way. But yes, with the ring, with the what was it? I wasn't talking. The special stage. It doesn't matter which special stage you go after. You'll still go after the same ring, so that's a lot easier. You know, if you have trouble with one Chaos Emerald, you can just keep doing it until you get it. But if it's one of the later Chaos Emeralds, it will get harder and harder to do. So you want to be very careful while going on and trying to use that as a tool to practice with. Because as I said last video, you won't be able to. Once you collect a Chaos Emerald in a zone once, you won't be able to collect it again. Really quickly, I just want to show off what's over here. There's a tin ring over here, so if you are kind of low on rings or you're close to getting a life, you can go after that. I believe there's a life, crap, to the very far right. Well, that's why you want to be very careful about collecting stuff like this, or using the cannons that don't have any arrows to point you in the right direction of where you're supposed to go, because that will happen more often than not, and you'll you'll drop from 200 rings to about 30 or 17. You want to be very careful while doing that. You just want to drop down here. You can actually homing attack onto the cannon or into the cannons. That's always useful. So you can use that if you ever need to. That's probably another section where you have to use the homing attack. Well, a lot of this game can actually be done, and like I said, well over 98% of this game can be done without using the homing attack. But it just makes it a lot a lot easier to use the homing attack. Ooh, wow, I want to be very careful while doing that. You get thrown back in there and you'll get crushed and die. So you can see another one of those bat bot sections, or another one of these bat bot sections where there'll be a pain to deal with. Through here, though, however, you know, you can just kind of line it up where you'll collect every single ring and you'll be able to get through there, through these sections. Let's see. Oh. Try that again. A lot of the time, just you know, moving left and right in the air will allow you to find whatever you're looking for. Oh crap! Oh no! Now this is actually the first level where you'll actually very possibly, or quite possibly, run out of time on. Through this cannon section, it'll definitely take you a little while to do. If you throughout the entire cannon section, that is definitely the most hardest and longest section to get through in this entire act, and up to this point even. So if you do miss the bubbles, what the? Okay, I guess you have to push left on the control stick. I'm used to the game pointing you in the, taking you to the right directions. This is actually the last stretch in the game. Yeah, so that's what you have to do. You have to push the stick forward, or to the left. I'm sorry. This is the last section. This is one of the section in the game where if you don't have enough, yeah, I'm not gonna be able to get the emerald through this section. But now, if you notice through that section, it had 2 score rings. All you have to do is just kind of line it up so that you use the homing attack through the score spheres. However, you can just kind of jump into it instead of using all of the homing attack, but it just makes it a lot harder. So this is, where's my notes at? Okay, this is the egg catcher, or catcher Eggman as they call it in this game. And this is just, well, very similar to the boss fight in Carnival Night Zone Act for Sonic 2. So if you get caught by him, he will have those springs come out and get you. You can rest up there and just jump on his head, which is actually a lot easier, and it keeps you from getting hit. Hit him 3 times and he will start to drop bombs on your head. Hit him 2 more times and he will have electricity pop out at you. Hit him, I believe it was 2 more times, or 3 more times, however many it is, and you'll defeat him. Remember, every boss takes 8 hits to defeat. So if you can find out any gimmicks like that, resting on the back of those flippers, you'll definitely help yourself out by doing that. But yeah, now I have to go after 2 Chaos Emeralds that well, maybe I'll just cut to those Chaos Emeralds. I'll go ahead and end the video here, and then I'll just add both the Chaos Emerald endings after this. So anyway, I thank you for watching. The challenge of the video is how many lives did I gain from those cards in Casino Street Zone Act 2. I thank you for watching. Until next time. Alright, so after having to go through the road of cards, or Casino Street Zone Act 2, I finally got the Chaos Emerald here. I'm about to fall into it. You see I have 2 seconds left. Let's just hope I don't mess it up. There we go, good. So, that's the Gray Emerald. That's 5 of them. Now I only have 2 more to get. Just figured I'd show that off. I'll see you in the next. I'm gonna go ahead and cut until I get to the 6th Chaos Emerald special, or the 6th special stage. See you. All right, welcome to special stage number 6. This is definitely one where things are gonna be getting harder. I finished Casino Climax or Casino Street Zone Act 3 to be able to finish this, or to be able to do this one. and unlock it. But if you notice right off the bat, it's very blue and colorful and bright, so that may throw you off if you're used to the darker levels that we've seen previously. But also that we're not pressed for time like in special stage number 5, which is pretty good. You know, it's I definitely like it when you're not pressed for time. It makes these actually a little bit more enjoyable. But just because we're not pressed for time does not mean that you can sit around and wait. You know, that you cannot be careful. Just especially with this one, you know, as I said before, things are getting harder, and because things are getting harder, we have to be careful. You have to be careful and watch out for the exclamation blocks or the exit blocks. You know, whichever you prefer to call them. I guess I would just call them the red spheres, but their actual names are either the exclamation blocks or exit blocks. But anyway, so wasting a little bit of time here is if you notice what I did right here, I needed one more ring. That you do not want to have to go back that far, especially with all of this stuff, to have to go back for one set of for one ring, or you know, any rings for that matter. That'll slow you down and will put you in the position that I'm in now. Again, here, that's why you want to try to go after every single ring that you can. And now I'm going to have to go out a lot farther than I would originally have wanted to, and wasted that 15 seconds, which I could have used to try and go after the emerald if I could find it. I don't even know where the emerald is at this point. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, I'm going to have to retry, but that's actually pretty good. You know, if you know how to get through a section quickly, you know, because you can retry, you want to try to take your time and learn how to do things. You know, especially with the levels that you're pressed for time on, or just some of the more difficult ones. Especially like ring-wise, you know, you could run around and learn how to find the best path of rings and the quickest path of rings that you can find, and the more you do that, the more you'll learn the best and most efficient paths to go along, and that will definitely help you out in the long run. You can see I somehow have taken a shortcut, which has saved me a lot of time. But if you notice all those exit blocks at the around, you still cannot relax and take it easy. You just want to be very careful. And something I haven't talked about yet, but going after the time bonuses, you don't want to waste 5 seconds or more trying to go after a 5-second one. Same goes with a 10 or a 15. You know, that's just stupid. Wasting time to gain time when you could just as easily go through and finish a level instead of wasting time. You know, that's obviously very stupid, and something you don't want to do. But through this section, there's a lot of time to be gained through here, through these time spheres, but you want to be very careful and not waste too much time trying to go after all of that extra time. Again, be very careful while going through here. Oh, okay. I don't know where those exit blocks were, but, you know, hey, I'm not complaining at all. But anyway, so that's it. I'm going to go ahead and end the video here officially. Again, the challenge of the video is how many lives that I gained from the cards in Casino Street Zone Act 2. I thank you for watching Road of Cards in this level. Thank you for watching. Until next time.